The Cowboys passing game looked pretty smooth out there. It wasn't some all-time unstoppable offense, but considering that their run game was pretty bad, like besides that one Miles Sanders like 49-yard run, or however long it was, like 49, 50-ish, the run game was pretty non-existent. So it was really between Dak and CeeDee Lamb, and they looked smooth. They looked competent. You know, of course, when you have Dak, who was a MVP candidate just like 2 seasons ago, and CeeDee Lamb, who is a top 10, dare I say top 5 receiver in the league, I would hope you would get a result like that. So definitely offensively, passing game wise, they were good. The rookie Tyler Booker, the guard, he looked pretty solid out there considering it's his first game. You got to give him time, especially at the NFL level against the Eagles, Eagles defense, which might as well, I'm talking about them, didn't have their best defender, which is Jalen Carter, who got ejected before the first play even happened. He got ejected for spitting on Dak. And I did see a clip online that Dak spit first, but it appeared he was spitting to the ground and Jalen spit on Dak. So I guess that was like the reason why he got ejected, and he's possibly getting even suspended as well, which is hilarious. But yeah, another thing that made the Cowboys offense so much smooth is the Eagles defense had a lot of defensive penalties. I don't remember the exact amount. I think it's like around like 9, 10 or something like that, some insane number. There was a lot of penalties and not like extended drives, and kept the Cowboys drives alive a lot of the time. So definitely they need to work on that. Definitely need to have less turnover. They did have that towards the end of the game after the weather delay. They definitely picked up defensively. They forced a turnover right before the weather delay, and after they didn't allow another point at all. So I'll give them credit for that. They adjusted. They made Vic Fangio made great decisions, great adjustments during the second halftime. I guess you can say it's not even a halftime, like a whole nother pregame. It's a whole hour, but I would, yeah. Great defensively, the best you can get considering you're missing your best defensive player, and a whole lot of penalties. Overall, Eagles defense did a pretty solid job, all things considered. He did drop a key interception, but it turned out it didn't really matter. But yeah, back to the Cowboys real quick. To end the game, as you can hear, it's pouring out there. That's the reason why I said weather delay. It's pouring. But sorry about that. But yes, speaking of CeeDee Lamb, he was great all game except for the last drive where he had 3 drops, which is, I know people who betted on that, it's tight. They are pissed. But yeah, overall, offensively, the Cowboys, they look pretty good. No run game. They definitely need to work on that. Passing game, smooth, good. Overall, offensively, can't really complain too much. Defensively, however, you can definitely feel the loss of Micah. Not as much as people make it have to be, because people are going to like overdo it. It's like, oh my God, the Cowboys are so done. But like, definitely, you saw a lot of Jalen Hurts extending plays over and over and over and over. Like, they'll get a decent pass rush, right? But then you scoop the pocket and run for a first down. Like, he got both of his rushing touchdowns because of that, right? They can get there, but they just couldn't finish the play. They couldn't get the sack. I remember, I think right after the weather delay, they were backed up, and Quandre Diggs had like a straight path to Jalen Hurts, and then he just missed the tackle. So you just threw it away. So it's like stuff like that definitely hurt him. Just like they did get better in the second half, right? Post weather delay, again, no points were scored after that. So like a quarter and like not necessarily a half, but a quarter and change. Like, yeah, so defensively, they definitely got better. So whatever adjustments they made, it worked. They kind of shut Saquon down. At the same time, kind of sort of Saquon, you can do the best you can. He's still going to be, the best running back in football. So the best you can shut him down. They did that. So I will give them credit for that. So maybe there was truth to that. We need a better run defense. Maybe Jerry Jones was right all along. I don't know. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah. Overall, we got to talk about the Eagles offense. Eagles offense, Jalen Hurts looked great. He looked confident. He looked poised. He stood in that pocket. He escaped it when he needed to. Great throws. That deep ball to Dotson right before halftime, that was a beautiful pass. I noticed AJ Brown didn't get a target until the last drive of the game, like that second to last play of the game. He was kind of non-existent. So definitely need to see more of that throughout the season. But overall, I'm not gonna be stressing that too much. Like, that happens, especially when you have two good corners over there with the Cowboys. So you know what I mean, it happens, right? I'm not gonna go too hard on that, but definitely need to give your best receiver the ball. But speaking of best player, Saquon Barkley is still the best running back in football. He did a little bit of everything, a little bit of rushing, a little bit of receiving, a little bit of blocking. Overall, great performance by him. As I said earlier, Jalen Hurts looked great. Scrambling, staying in plays, stun the ball. Can't complain too much. All line, I think they're the best offensive line in football. Top 3 at least. So they did a good job. Again, they didn't have Jalen Carter, so that definitely hurt their defense. But overall, a overall performance, especially later in the game. Forced a turnover, almost had another turnover besides a dropped interception. So overall, great performance on both sides of the ball in the second half by both teams. Well, defensively anyway. Offensively, not too much, but defensively, great job on both sides. So if I had to give this game a rating, Week 1, Cowboys versus Eagles, 8 straight scoring drives, started off hot. It was a little chippy, right? A little back and forth. Jalen Carter was spitting on people, throwing hands after the first, on the second kickoff of the game. They were throwing hands, but then the game got suspended for a weather delay, and then all momentum just went. The momentum just stopped. Like, all the hype for the game, it was just like, dang, that's it. Wow. Like, like the last quarter and change went by like that. It went by for like 20 minutes, right? That's how much nothing really happened, right? Like, besides the last drive of the game, which is the last drive, people are going to get excited for that. But besides that, after the weather delay, everything just kind of went downhill. So if I had to give this game a rating from an F to an S, I'll give it a solid C+. B-, because it started off pretty good. It started off 8 straight scoring drives, chippy, It's just that weather delay, that hour and a half weather delay is crazy, bro. Like, if it didn't get suspended for an hour and it just played out exactly like that without the weather delay, it would have been higher. It's just that delay kind of just took it out of me, man. It's kind of crazy. So I'll give it a B-. Give it a B-. But hey, those are my thoughts on Week 1, Cowboys versus Eagles. Let me know yours. What do you think? Did you think the Cowboys did terrible? Did they good? What about the Eagles? Do you think they did good, or do you think they did bad? I don't know. Let me know your comments. See ya.